It's like, "Oh, and what is today's session about?" "Oh, falling off the bandwagon." So, there are a few different ways that we fall off the bandwagon, and I think that so often we look for that perfect system or the setup, the app, the list, the method, the practices that will prevent us from ever falling off the bandwagon. We just want that to not ever happen again. Thank you very much. And we're looking for the ways to make it not happen. But it's going to happen. No matter how good our plans are, no matter how good our system is, we're going to fall off the bandwagon. And it can happen because of sickness. It can happen because of traveling. It can happen because families need to make life altering decisions like, moving or new jobs, or um, there can be medical diagnoses. All of these things just throw us for a loop and throw our rhythms out of whack. And what used to work stops working. Or, you come back from being sick or being gone, and it's not just a pick up where you left off and run with it, much as sometimes we might just assume that that's what we're going to do. It just doesn't work that way, right? Or new babies, for sure. You have to It's not just picking up at your old rhythm as soon as everything's, back to normal. There is no normal. You have to find the new balance and figure out where you're at and slowly start back up again. Baby steps are a much better solution after we've fallen off the bandwagon than trying to jump straight back in to the whole hog system that used to work. We need to start actually with baby steps. That means small steps, and that also means accepting the fact that we will fall off the wagon, that we will fall down, that we will have to get back up, that our steps will be faltering and they won't be, the skilled, capable steps of an athlete who's in his groove. These are just baby steps. These are learning, faltering steps that still do move us forward and that still do help us develop the strength and stamina that we need to get back to, or build up for the first time, even that um, more athletic, competent, capable pace that we would like to just implement tomorrow. Do it all. So, since we can't do it all, what are we going to actually do? Or what's actually most important? And I know even that is super hard because I listed out, did a little quick brain dump on Tuesday when it was apparent that the bandwagon had left me far behind in the dust, and I was gonna have to, like, build a new one to get back on. I was like, "All of it's a priority, though." Like, I can't it's hard to admit or figure out what's a priority because it means letting other things go and admitting that you can't do it all, and, reassessing and knowing that you're gonna be behind on some things, and that's just gonna have to be the way it is for now. And then Latoya says, "I fell off the bandwagon and then it ran me over." I was like, "So then it's a baby step that is faltering because your leg is broken." Yeah, it feels like after falling off that wagon, after the wagon runs you over, you end up really, in a way, having to build a whole new wagon to get up onto. And that's just the way it is. It's not because we're doing anything wrong. It's just the nature of the game. And um, any work that we do to build those rhythms back up is worthwhile. I know it can feel like, I've fallen off the wagon so many times and I've had to build it again from scratch so many times that, like, I should just stop even trying to get on a bandwagon at all, because all you do ever do is just fall off of it and have to start over again. But the being on the bandwagon is being in a routine that helps you get things done more smoothly. And there are two kind of scenarios when the bandwagon has left, is no more. There are the situations where it is a short-term thing, like a short-term illness, a vacation, just a really busy weekend, a few bad days at school. These are little things that just throw everything off and make us need to start back up again with baby steps. And um, when we do that, it doesn't need to take too long if we do start baby stepping our way back to that same bandwagon. Nothing in our life situation really changed. We just got behind, and it's more behind than we can catch up in an hour or two. So we're going to have to just take small steps with what's most important, figure out a few things to let go, and work ourselves back up to the routine that we had before. But then there's the other kind of falling off the bandwagon, which is that same bandwagon is not at all applicable anymore. And so we have to just let it go. We don't, we ought not be chasing it down to try to jump back on it, because that bandwagon is just obsolete at this point. New babies, new home. Um, Sometimes the kids hit new growth or developmental phases that require a shifting and an adjusting. And the same routines are just not going to fit. And we really do have to rebuild that wagon from scratch. That's going to take more time than just catching up and um, getting going again, because we have to evaluate and figure out where we actually are and what this new situation actually requires. But with either situation, the more often that we do fall off and get back up, the easier it's going to be to get back up again. The more we fall off and just stay down because we're discouraged about how much effort it takes to stay on the bandwagon or to um, build one in the first place, the harder it's going to be.